Welcome back to Prague in the Czech Republic for the final session of racing here in the 2022 ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. First race of 5 in the World Cup series, and it's extreme slalom time. Head-to-head racing. We've had 140 entries across the 2 categories from 36 different nations. So the 70 starters in each category had to do the time trial, and the top 32 are through into the head-to-head racing. Now we join the event in the quarter-final position. But here in the sunshine in Prague in the Czech Republic, very hot conditions, barely a puff of wind, and well, perfect racing conditions. 6 gates, we'll talk through the detail, including a roll gate. And well, head-to-head racing, lots of contact allowed, and it's all about progressing through the various stages. Here is the schedule for this afternoon. And well, first of all, let's get a little bit of an insight from one of the pros on the circuit.
Hello, I'm Pepe from Brazil. I really like to race the extreme slalom, and I think the most important thing during the race is the roll, because if you are not quick in the roll, you are not quick in the race. The most important is to rotate your body, and your first stroke after the extreme roll is a good stroke, you know, and you need to turn fast and keep your stroke after you're rolling to keep moving forward.
So, well, I'm pleased to say Pepe Goncalves, who is in that video, is through into the men's quarterfinals. But we're going to start with the women's quarterfinal head-to-head competition. So, different kind of boat, and the athletes will be racing, and it isn't about against the clock, it is about head-to-head. The top 2 from each round go through into the next category. Myself, Andy Maddock, will talk you through the action as it happens, and I'm delighted to welcome into the booth Kimberly Woods of Great Britain, finalist in the Canoe Slalom event earlier on today. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
So, well, we're straight into the action, and this is the first of our women's quarterfinals. And Eva Tersel of Slovenia, wearing bib number 9. Then Miran Lezcano of Spain, number 1 as the top seed. So the bibs represent who was the fastest in the time trial. The lower the bib, in theory, the faster the paddler. Noemi Fox of Australia, younger sister of Jessica. And then Li Tong of the People's Republic of China. 4 boats, but only 2 progress to the semi-final. We're racing the first of these quarterfinals, and it's a great start by bib number 1, Miran Lezcano in the red boat. She launches away. So there's 2 upstream gates on this course. They're the red gates, but you have a choice, left or right on each side. So it's all about tactics. And then, well, we'll talk you through. So there's a bit of a battle there, and the loser is number 1, Miran Lezcano. So coming out, it is bib number 17. And that is Noemi Fox. So Fox at the moment ahead, coming into the second of the upstreams and approaching the roll gate. Then it is Lezcano, then Tersel, and then Tong. So this is the roll zone. You have to do 360 degrees, so over one side, up on the opposite side. And we're coming down towards the final 2 gates on the course. Well, Noemi Fox looks like she is through, as well as Miran Lezcano. We'll just have to wait and see for confirmation there. But a bit of an indication there of what extreme slalom is about. Well, let's just talk through that. Extreme slalom, the newest introduction to the Paris 2024 Olympic program, head-to-head racing. And let's have a watch of it in slow motion.
Yeah, the girls are really aggressive, and it's nice to see personalities come out a little bit and tactics and everything else. And yeah, lane choice is a very interesting one, and how people do upstreams. There's so much to it, and everyone's learning every race that they do.
Well, exciting stuff, and you could see the first upstream was where Noemi Fox really made the most. She chose to go into the upstream right.
Yeah, pretty easy for her. No one else went into there, and quite a battle between the rest of the three in the up left.
And then a bit of a battle here, nip and tuck towards the bottom, between Tersel in the green boat and Lascano in the red boat. But ultimately, it was Lascano of Spain who joins Fox of Australia into the semi-finals. So Kimberly, what's your experience of the extreme slalom so far?
I've not had much experience, but it is a lot of fun, and as you see, the girls are laughing at the end there, and a lot of people are taking a lot of fun from it, and you never know what will happen.
Well, we're straight into the second of our 4 quarterfinals now. And the first of our competitors, Yan Jihua of the People's Republic of China, wearing bib number 21. Then it is from the Czech Republic, Teresa Fisarova, the winner, of course, of the women's canoe event earlier on today. Megan Hamer-Evans of Great Britain. And wearing bib number 4, Camille Prigent of France. She won a medal in the women's kayak event yesterday. Can she make it another medal here? Well, they're all set. Second quarter-final. Well, they're away. Who do you favour for this event then?
Probably Fisarova. You know, she's European champion on a home course. She's really good and got aggressive style. But I'm rooting for my roommate, fellow team member Meg Hamer-Evans. But again, extreme slalom, anything can happen. It's so much about tactics.
So Fisarova does have the early lead in the yellow helmet, wearing number 5 there, exits very nicely indeed. When we get the bigger shot, there we go. Fisarova now leading away ahead of the People's Republic of China, Yan. Then it is Hamer-Evans, and a surprise at the back, Camille Prigent of France, but it could still all change. Fisarova very much out in front, just coming towards the roll gate. But let's see who is in second place. Well, Yang of the People's Republic of China still holding on to second place. Hamer-Evans is coming towards the finish line, but it might be a little too late. There's no doubt about it. The winner is Teresa Fisarova from the Czech Republic. In second place, it is Yan Jihua of the People's Republic of China. And then Megan Hamer-Evans and Camille Prigent eliminated at this stage of the competition.
Yeah, there's probably quite a little bit of a shock there. Camille's pretty good and really strong in the extreme, so she'll be a bit gutted not to make it through any further, but Fisarova's so strong in this event.
Yeah, I think, yeah, Fisarova going through, but you're right, Camille Prigent, she's taken 2 World Cup silver medals. She was 5th at the Europeans, so just missed out on a place in the final at the European Championships a couple of weeks ago. And she never really got into it. She was pushed out from the start and never found a way back.
Yeah, it's interesting because she must have got lane choice because she was the fastest qualifier out of the 4. But she's had a really good weekend so far, winning a medal in her individual in her kayak. So yeah, she'll be gutted with her extreme, but she'll look ahead to the next World Cup.
So that's confirmation of the result there. And here is the slow-mo replay of the start. Well, Camille got a good launch off the start, but it was in that first upstream I think she missed out. But there was one thing for sure, and that was Teresa Fisarova, fresh from a gold medal earlier on today, was not looking back at all, and she's comfortably into the women's semi-final. So Kimberly, just talk us through, is there any tactics on the roll gate? Do you know what people are wanting to do to optimise it?
I think a lot of the girls tend to go for the normal Eskimo roll. Saw there Megan did the back deck roll. It's independent of what people prefer and what people are strongest at. Myself is better at the normal Eskimo roll because I'm able to pull off straight away, but it's what other people favour, and yeah, still trying to figure out which is actually the fastest.
Bit of an alien concept for most canoe slalom paddlers is a roll. That's a last resort normally.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely had a few rolls in my normal slalom runs.
Well, we have a packed house here again in Prague. We're live here, the final session of the World Cup, first World Cup of the season. We've got 5 World Cups, and it's extreme slalom time. So this, the third quarter-final of the women's extreme slalom. Martina Wegman of the Netherlands, always a favourite, but this is a hot lineup, this quarter-final.
Yeah, it really is. I'm looking forward to this one.
Mallory Franklin of Great Britain. Then Klaudia Swalicka of Poland, wearing number 11. And then our final competitor, Jess Fox of Australia, wearing the bib number 3, so she got to choose the lane first. And, well, the 2 choices have gone for the outside lanes. Here's our DJ for the extreme slalom event. Wegman, Franklin, Swalicka and Fox, but only 2 can go through into the semi-final.
Yeah, I won't be able to call it. Not at all.
Well, we're away, and let's see who gets away well. Well, the person to miss out at the moment is Klaudia Swalicka. Fox is away very cleanly. There's a battle going on between Franklin and Wegman, but it looks like Franklin has taken the early advantage. Now, let's see what the choices are into the first upstream gate.
Mallory's definitely got an easier job there with an up on her own, but those girls are really battling out.
Wow, well, a big change in the order. Fox goes into the first upstream in the lead, and she comes out in 4th place. Franklin now has the advantage ahead of Swalicka.
Oh, no.
And, well, something's going on at the back. I'm not sure if that's a fault.
It looked like Jess had fallen in somewhere, and Swalicka was definitely keeping Mallory back there.
So Swalicka has missed gate 1, so she is eliminated from the competition. So let's hope she doesn't get in the way of the remaining competitors.
I think it's as Mallory wouldn't know that either, so she has to keep pushing, and so does Martina being 3rd.
So at the moment it's Mallory Franklin and Martina Wegman who are going to qualify through into the semi-final, but Martina has also had a failure on the upstream gate 2, so just waiting for confirmation. So provisionally it is Mallory Franklin and Jessica Fox who will progress through into the semi-final, but wow, that was all change in that quarter-final.
Yeah, that was absolute carnage, but that's what makes the sport so great. Looks like Jess is having a bit of distress there, but hopefully she's okay. She probably won't even know that she's provisionally qualified.
Yeah, I think she might have taken a paddle or a boat in her face or something around her head. So yeah, as you say, let's hope she is all right. It's interesting, some of the competitors starting to use full face helmets, and it'll be interesting to see how that progresses.
Yeah, this year we've been told we're not allowed to wear our slalom helmets, but yeah, just for safety concerns, like you're going to take boats and paddles to the face.
So here it is, the results for the 3rd quarter-final. Mallory Franklin and Jessica Fox through into the semi-finals, and unfortunately Martina Wegman and Klaudia Swalicka eliminated at this stage of the competition.
Oh, that was so close.
So there we see, that's where Jessica Fox really missed out. Right up at the top of the course, she went into the first upstream well and truly in charge, and she came out in 4th place, but that is the fun of extreme slalom. But I suspect in the process there, she took a paddle in the face or something. looks like it might have been there, just battling it out with Martina, just resettling herself. But she is through to the semi-final, so hopefully she's uninjured and we'll see her back in that semi-final. So Klaudia Smolinska, wearing 14 at this stage, was eliminated, but that's the challenge, is knowing whether you've been eliminated from the competition and not interfering, which she hasn't done really, with the rest of the finding out the places.
Yeah, that's why you got to keep pushing all the way to the end.
And I'm just waiting to see, because according to the scoreboard, then there may be a change in the results. So provisionally, what I'm looking at is Mallory Franklin is through as the winner of the quarterfinal, and Klaudia Smolinska is the other paddler through. That's what I'm seeing. Now we'll wait and see. There, Victoria Urs of Ukraine. She was in the heats, but eliminated at that stage in the competition. So we're into the final quarter-final. So 4 quarter-finals we have here, and our first competitor there was Ria Sribar of the United States. Then Ricarda Funk of Germany. Then Hannah Thomas of New Zealand. And our last competitor, it is Marjorie Delassou of France. Again, a big lineup. Delassou and Funk would be your favourites.
It's hard to say, you know, Hannah came back really strong in the heats, so it's really hard, but Delassou is very aggressive, so is Funk.
Well, we're racing. This, the final quarter-final, determine the last 2 semi-finalists. And, well, off to a great start is Ria Sribar of the United States, taking the left-hand line as we look at it, but equally Funk of Germany, the Olympic champion in canoe slalom, wearing number 15, is streaking out ahead. So a little battle going on the right there, and well, Funk comes out on top from that. It's brutal contact. You can see why Funk has got a full face helmet.
Yeah, you're not allowed to hit people on purpose, but obviously that wasn't on purpose. When Sribar looks like she is doing a few too many rolls there than planned.
So Hannah Thomas looks like she's in second place at the moment, and Sribar has missed gate 4. So the United States eliminated. At the moment it is Funk of Germany and Thomas of New Zealand who look like they are going to progress into the semi-final, but nothing's over until you cross the finish line. Well, Ricarda Funk looks very comfortable now and crosses the line to win this quarter-final provisionally. And Hannah Thomas, there wearing bib number 7, goes through into second and is the final qualifier through into the women's extreme slalom semi-finals. Eliminated at this stage is Ria Sribar of the United States and Marjorie Delassou of France. Well, let's take a breath. I thought we would see more from Marjorie Delassou.
Yeah, it looked like she got a bit tangled right at the start and never really caught up with the pack. And it is a shame. She's a really aggressive paddler and would have loved to have seen her progress through and be in there with the top girls. Well,
there's confirmation of the result. Ricarda Funk and Hannah Thomas through into the semi-final.
Yeah, Hannah will be really, really happy with that. She was a massive grin on her face as she came through the finish line.
Here we have the jostle in the first of the upstreams, and that's where Ria Sribar of the United States of America doesn't correctly negotiate the gates, and well, pretty brutal that is.
Yeah, it looks like Ricky did well just to stay upright herself and stay calm and not really just dig it out.
So and that's where Marjorie Delassou misses the downstream, has to go back for it. I think she did get it, but by then she was too far behind. So, well, that completes the lineup for our women's kayak semi-finals. And, well, some big names have gone through and some big names have gone out. Here we have the results. So confirmation of the top half of the draw is Fisarova, Fox, Lazcano and Jan. And then the bottom half of the draw, the second semi-final, Franklin, Funk, Thomas and Svalinska. So that was correct that Jessica Fox was eliminated in that third quarter final. So we'll see the women's kayak semi-final after the men's quarter-finals. So we are now into the men's quarter-finals. Again, this gives a little bit of an idea of the dimensions, the minimum weight, the minimum length and width of the boats. And here is our quarter-final start list. So we started with 32 in the heats. We're down to the last 16. And these quarter-finals will determine the 8 paddlers who go through into the semi-finals. Who's your favourite? I noticed actually already we've lost the likes of Prindis, who was the overall World Cup champion of last year.
Yeah, we've lost quite a few big names, and the guys are so much more aggressive than the girls, and they really go fully in with no prisoners, which is what makes this so exciting to watch.
So Tim Anderson of Australia, we just talked over a little bit there. So for that's bib number 9, then Dimitri Marks, the top seed, #1, fastest in the time trial. Then Wojciech Hager of the Czech Republic, number 17 there, more known in a canoe, but now in a kayak. And then Gabriel da Costa of Belgium, number 25. First of our quarter-finals, that's about to start. And we're racing. Men's quarterfinals are underway, and it looks like an explosive start from Dimitri Marks, #1. A good line for Timothy Anderson of Australia. And at the moment, those two are first and second as they progress into the first upstream. So it's a big jostle, but it looks like Dimitri Marks comes out very tidily from the first upstream. And let's have a look who's next. Well, there's a change of order because Wojciech Hager of the Czech Republic has moved up the order. So Gabriel da Costa is eliminated. He's missed gate 2. So it's a 3-way battle now. No doubt about the person in front, Dimitri Marks of Switzerland, #1. But there's still a battle going on. And that battle has been reignited. Timothy Anderson has regained the position wearing number 9 for Australia. And it is Wojciech Hager of the Czech Republic that misses out.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at that. Tim must have gave him such a battle into the left and managed to sneak out in front of him.
Well, there was definitely no holds barred in that, our first quarter-final. There is our winner of this, the first of 4 quarter-finals. Dimitri Marks of Switzerland progresses through into the semi-finals. He's a 2-time under-23 world champion in this event, so no stranger to paddling in this. And there's confirmation of the results. Marks and Anderson through, Hager and da Costa eliminated at this stage.
Yeah, Dimitri has a really high rep rate, probably one of the highest I've ever seen, and just shows it really does work for him.
Well, he was ahead off the start and never really looked back, and that's where we see Gabriel da Costa of Belgium just unsuccessfully negotiating the first of the upstream gates and picking up his fault and elimination. Well, uninterrupted there, that helped Dimitri Marks with a significant lead. And he never looked back through the roll zone. So you're watching live the Extreme Slalom here from the first World Cup of the 2022 World Cup season. It's the final session, but head-to-head racing, And many would say the future of the sport of canoe slalom is extreme slalom. As we now look at the lineup for our second quarter-final. Jean-Pierre Bourri of Senegal. Number 29, remember the number, the lower it is, the higher in the seeding, the faster they were in the seeding round. Number 5, Isaac Öhrström of Sweden. Then Callum Gilbert, wearing bib number 12 for New Zealand. And well, Pedro Goncalves of Brazil, who's got to be one of the favourites for this World Cup race, wearing bib number 4. And we're away. Well, it looked like a great start there for Callum Gilbert of New Zealand, but ultimately it is Pepe Goncalves wearing bib number 4 and Isaac Öhrström for Sweden leading the way. They're going to take the same upstream or different upstreams. Well, Goncalves gets uninterrupted access to the first of the upstreams, whilst the others just fight themselves. That is a significant advantage.
Yeah, Pepe was very lucky for them all to battle it out and to let O'Brien leave him on his own. I'm sure Isaac will take him on here. Yes, he does, and so does Callum.
Well, it's like a team run there. No interruptions at all. Goncalves of Brazil uninterrupted as he comes into the roll gate. Bit of a fight still going on between Gilbert of New Zealand, Öhrström of Sweden. Look, they're rolling in sync, and it looks like at the moment, well, there's nothing to choose between them. No doubt about the winner, Goncalves of Brazil. And well, what's going on here? It's going to be a photo finish.
Yeah, they were very, very tight then. I don't think I can call it.
Well, we'll wait and see. We were both looking at each other there, trying to work out who had taken that second place. And at the moment, it looks like Callum Gilbert of New Zealand snatched it on the line from Isaac Öhrström of Sweden. But no doubt about it, there's our winner, number 4, Pedro Goncalves of Brazil. And well, Jean-Pierre Bourri looks like he's exited his boat, but exited safely, giving the rescue crews something to an excuse to get in the water and cool off a bit.
Yeah, they wouldn't be complaining too much, but yeah, it looked like Jean-Pierre just had a bit of struggle trying to get back up, and the roll zone is in a difficult place because you've got to roll up very quickly because you've got to go through a stopper straight after.
So confirmation, Pedro Goncalves and Callum Gilbert through to the semi-final. Well, it's pretty brutal racing. You can see 3 into the same upstream at the same time. Doesn't always work. But here, this was the real story, wasn't it? The battle, really close battle between Gilbert of New Zealand, Öhrström of Sweden, only resolved right on the finish line. No doubt about our winner, who's already a medalist at multiple World Cups. He's taken 2 World Cup wins, Goncalves of Brazil. So we're into the third of our men's quarterfinals here. We're live from Prague for the extreme slalom, and Stefan Hengst of Germany wearing bib number 11. Then Hannes Eigner wearing bib number 3 for Germany. Number 14, Mario Leitner of Austria. And then our final paddler in this event. Number 27, it is Serhiy Sovko of the Ukraine. Hengst and Hannes Eigner, really specialists in this area. You'd favour them, but anything can happen.
Yeah, this is a very, very strong quarter-final here.
There's Stefan Hengst. Hengst was silver medalist overall in the World Cup season last year, and he gets a clean getaway on the left-hand side of the screen. Now they all come merging back in. It is Eigner number 3, Hengst number 11, who lead the way at the moment for Germany. Now into the first upstream, 2 each side. Eigner catches the edge. There's a battle going on between Eigner and Leitner, but whilst that's going on, Hengst, wearing number 11, gets away cleanly. Let's have a look what else is going on. Well, I think there might have been a foul by Leitner of Austria. We'll have to wait and see, but the one thing that is undoubted is that Stefan Hengst there, going through the roll gate, is leading this quarter-final. There we go, it is confirmed. Leitner is eliminated, and we already have Sovko of Ukraine eliminated. So Hannes Eigner, although he's in all sorts of problems, as long as he completes the course without any faults, then he will make it through into the next round.
And I'm sure he won't even know that they've faulted. I mean, there was so much carnage going on, and you can't see everything at all. And
so Hannes Eigner is the athlete in the white helmet, number 3. He'll come across the line disappointed, but he's actually through provisionally into the semi-final. Well, it was all going on. There were rolls and there were big battles in the upstreams, but the one person that kept his cool, Stefan Hengst there, he wins the quarter-final and he will be through into the semi-final.
it's great to see all the battles happening on the course, but at the end they're all shaking each other's hands and showing a lot of respect for each other.
Yes, I think it's a close community, isn't it, in canoeing? And yeah, you don't want to make enemies in extreme slalom.
No, you definitely don't, because they will definitely come at you.
So the technique for these upstream gates, Kimberly, what are people doing in terms of when you know you've got to, you're perhaps chasing your tail, you're a bit behind, do you just plough into everybody else and hope you can make it stick?
If you can do that in a safe manner, yes, and get away with it, yes. But you've got to try and stand your ground and hold close to the pole as close as you can and try and make sure that they don't pass you, really. It's so dependent on the water, and different ups mean different things, and yeah, it's whoever comes out strongest.
Well, definitely Stefan Hengst, the silver medalist overall in the World Cup Series from last year, showing his skill and experience as he goes through in the third of our men's extreme slalom quarterfinals. There he is, congratulating Mario Leitner of Austria, who unfortunately eliminated at this stage, along with Serhiy Sovko of Ukraine. So both Germans through to the semi-final. There it is, confirmation. Hengst and Eigner through to the next round. Leitner and Sovko. That is the end of the competition for them. So we're into the final quarter-final now. It's the fourth quarter-final, and Joe Clark of Great Britain lines up with number 2. Then Zino Evaldi of Italy, wearing number 18. Christopher Bowers, bib number 10 for Great Britain. And then our fourth paddler is Vid Kudamarasic of Slovenia. 4 boats, but only 2 places in the semi-finals. There's the lineup. 2 British boats, an Italian and a Slovenian. We're racing. Who do you favour for this then, Kimberly?
Well, we've got the world champion, and also I don't know. I don't know who I can call this, but Joe's off to a really, really good start here with Zeno right behind him.
Yeah, the world champion Joe Clark from Great Britain, won in Bratislava last year, has got off to an explosive start, and he spanks the pole on the upstream. Gets out cleanly as well, despite the fact that there was other activity going on in the eddy line. So at the moment, Clark leads with Kudamarasic in second place. Then it is a close run thing between Evaldi and Bowers. So Clark out in front. Now it is Evaldi who has gone into second place, and the big loser from the second upstream is Christopher Bowers, number 10, just completing the roll. So no faults as far as we can see.
Looks like he's still trying to push very hard to get ahead of the Slovenian.
So Joe Clark, no doubt about it, he finishes the final quarter-final through to the semi-final, and it looks like Zeno Evaldi will join him in the semi-finals, but we'll just wait for confirmation of that result. There we have it. Joe Clark, the Olympic champion in canoe slalom from Rio 2016, and the world champion in extreme slalom from 2021, through into the semi-final. So it'll be interesting to look at that little battle that was going on between Chris Bowers. He definitely lost out in the second upstream gate, but there was confirmation of the result. So Clark gets a great start. Bowers slow off the start and never really got into it, even though he actually had a clean run at the first upstream gate.
Yeah, Joe was very, very strong off the start, even in the first upstream when he had two people on his back as well. Managed to push right to the back and get out very clean.
So I seem to remember quite a long time ago, Joe wasn't that great when he went upside down. It wasn't always reliable, but he might come back up again.
Yeah, he's been working on his rolling technique, and I think he's got a lot better this year.
So here is confirmation. The top half of the draw, and the semi-finalists Dimitri Marks, Pedro Goncalves, Timothy Anderson and Callum Gilbert. And then the bottom half of the draw, the semi-finalists Joseph Clark for Great Britain, Stefan Hengst of Germany, Hannes Eigner of Germany, and then Zeno Evaldi of Italy. Complete that top 8 semi-final lineup. So that concludes the men's quarterfinals here in Prague, and we are straight into the women's semi-finals. So here's the start list, the 8 remaining athletes on this women's semi-final, and only 4 places in the final. And here is our first semi-final. First up, Noemi Fox of Australia, number 17. Then the home favourite, Teresa Fisarova of the Czech Republic, number 5, already stood at the top of the podium this morning. Miren Lazcano of Spain, very fast. She was the fastest in the time trial, and you can expect her to get away quickly. And then Yan Yihua of the People's Republic of China. 4 boats, but only 2 places in the final. Fox, Fisarova, Lazcano and Yan. And we're away, racing again. So Fox on the left-hand side of the screen, Fisarova in the yellow helmet gets a very clean getaway, and Fox is left behind. So Fisarova, then Lazcano, then Fox, coming into the first upstream gate.
It's interesting, I had no idea what upstream Fisarova was going to go to until very last minute. Maybe that's the tactics coming in there.
Well, it worked. She's still out in front, number 5. Teresa Fisarova. And you can hear the local crowd are excited seeing the Czech paddler in front. But it is Yan from the People's Republic of China in second place. But there's all sorts of action going on.
Yeah, looks like Fisarova took a boat to the face there, but she's going strong still. See who comes through the next roll.
So Fisarova out front. Then it looks like Fox of Australia in number 17. Then Yan of the People's Republic of China. But it's very close there between Lazcano of Spain as well. And Fisarova is hurting. I think she did take a boat in the face. And you can see quite unpleasant there. I think there'll be a few more full face helmets coming as we go through the season.
Yeah, and oh, she is bleeding. Hopefully it's not too serious. She's a tough girl though.
Yes, well, unfortunately, let's hope she's okay. I always think blood and water water makes the blood look much worse than it is, but not underestimating that. She definitely took a boat in the face there, and provisionally our race winner and through to the final, Teresa Fisarova of the Czech Republic, along with Noemi Fox of Australia.
Yeah, and unfortunately the Chinese girl would have been faulted for that. It was definitely an unsafe takeover, and the bottom of these boats aren't soft either.
Well, respect to Teresa, because that happened at the top of the course, and she held it together. You could see as she went into the roll gate, she definitely looked like she was in pain. And anyway, hopefully she'll be back for the final. Patch her up. Let's watch it again, this first semi-final here, live from Prague. Teresa Fisarova dominant again in this semi-final. I wonder if we'll get to see the moment where, well, I think that's towards, here we have it. This is where Teresa took a boat in the face.
Oh.
So it was probably unfortunate. It wasn't like aimed at her, but it still clearly got in under a helmet and gave a bit of impact.
Like on the sweep there, yeah, she just went too much on that left blade. Fisarova did very well to recompose herself. Even Noemi there, look, managed to get her hand around the pole and in front of the Chinese girl.
Well, we know two of our women's extreme slalom finalists now. Teresa Fisarova of the Czech Republic, Noemi Fox of Australia. And, well, it's brutal extreme slalom. But that gives a good chance for Teresa Fisarova to make it through with 2 medals in today's competition. So now it is the second semi-final in this women's extreme slalom. Hannah Thomas, wearing bib number 7. She's been consistently strong throughout the rounds. Mallory Franklin of Great Britain. She got a silver medal at the European Championships a couple of weeks ago in extreme slalom. Ricarda Funk of Germany, the Olympic champion, the world champion in women's kayak, now trying her hand at extreme slalom too. And Klaudia Zwolinska of Poland. There's the lineup: Thomas, Franklin, Funk and Zwolinska. Who will go through into the final? Well, it's a good start from Franklin of Great Britain, wearing number 14 when she gets hold of her paddle. Hannah Thomas has got cleanly away on her own and looks like she's slotting into second place, but Franklin out front, and as I speak it is Zwolinska who is well, battling with Hannah Thomas. So where are we at? 3 into the first upstream right. Franklin comes out first, Zwolinska second, Funk third, and Thomas loses out big time in the first of the upstreams.
Yeah, Mallory was really strong off the start and was way too far ahead of the girls to be able to crash into her and put her off.
So Franklin cleanly through the second upstream, and Swalinska. So at the moment it is Great Britain leading, Poland in second place, and a big gap then between Hannah Thomas and Ricarda Funk. So pending any disasters, then it is Mallory Franklin and Claudia Swalinska who will progress through into the final. But there is a fault showing, but that's on Hannah Thomas, who is eliminated anyway. So there is our race leader. Mallory Franklin wins this second semi-final and goes through into the final, and alongside Mallory will be Claudia Swalinska of Poland. And of course we'll be in Poland next week for the ICF World Cup, the second race of the series, and you can follow all the action live at Planet Canoe. Action starts 9 o'clock Central European time, with the semi-finals on Saturday live at Planet Canoe. But there we have it, Mallory Franklin and Claudia Swalinska through to the final. So Kimberly, your reflections on that. Mallory really didn't have much challenge down the course. How important is it to really get away clean on the start?
I think it really depends on how much of a lead you have. Mallory had just enough there so she can get out and stay out of the carnage. Sometimes it's almost a disadvantage to be first because you can like get pushed to the back of the eddy in the upstreams, but again it's watching yourself and watching where you are in regards of everyone else on the course.
Well, rolling in sync there on the waters here, the River Vltava. And I imagine you don't want to spend too long under the water here.
No, definitely not. And yeah, these girls seem to definitely picked up the skill very quickly.
So we now know our 4 finalists in the women's extreme slalom. And here we have it. That is the results of the semi-final, and our 4 finalists are Teresa Fisser over at the Czech Republic, Mallory Franklin of Great Britain, Claudia Swalinska of Poland, and Noemi Fox of Australia. So we'll see that women's kayak final after the men's semi-finals, and those men's semi-finals will get underway straight away. Here we have the lineup, 8 boats down to 4 over the course of the next few minutes, and some big names including the world champion Joe Clark from 2021 will be lining up. But let's turn our attention to the first of the men's semi-finals. Number 12, Callum Gilbert of New Zealand. Then the fastest in the time trial, Dimitri Marx of Switzerland. Got to be a favourite for the final. Then Timothy Anderson of Australia, number 9. And another favourite, Pedro Goncalves of Brazil, better known as Pepe, and himself a regular medalist on the extreme slalom circuit. Gilbert, Marx, Anderson and Goncalves, but only 2 can go through to the final. Well, it's a good start from either end.
Oh, his paddle's broken.
Ah, you're right, good spot. Oh, Dimitri Marx, who was surely one of the favourites, has broken his paddle.
Still in second though, you can definitely give him a fight, that's for sure.
Well, that's given the advantage to Pedro Goncalves of Brazil, who is cleanly away, number 4. And
oh my God.
Dimitri Marx is still in second place. What an amazing comeback that would be if he holds it together. So Tim Anderson, number 9, is chasing him down. He must be smelling the blood as he comes down the course.
Yeah, definitely. There was no flinch from him either, but Tim Anderson is just sneaking out ahead of him, but he'll have the whole crowd behind him, Dimitri, but Pepe's amazing roll there.
Pepe straight out in front. Well, he gave us that professional masterclass about the roll, and he's shown us how to do it. And now Tim Anderson and Dimitri Marks are going at it hard. Well, it looks like Tim Anderson of Australia does snatch it on the line. And Dimitri Marks, what an effort. A big round of applause, respect for him. He gave it his all. But there we have it, number 4, our winner, and through to the final, Pedro Goncalves of Brazil.
Yeah, Pedro absolutely loves this event.
Tim Anderson of Australia joining Pedro as our second finalist. Well, that was harsh. We've seen 2 paddles breaking, actually. Ironically, one of them was Matthias Palacic, who actually makes one of the sets of paddles, so that's unfortunate. And there we see it, Dimitri Marks, number 1 there for Switzerland. A valiant effort, and surely one of the favourites after winning the time trial, but eliminated at this stage of the competition. There are the results. Goncalves and Anderson, well done, you're through to the final. So here's some of the action that we didn't see, but look at that. I mean, superb work from Dimitri Marks.
Yeah.
Single blade, and probably quite dangerous, that sharp end, but he keeps it away from anyone, and he plays a fair game there.
Yeah, he does. What I was amazed at, there was no flinching either. He was straight on using a single blade. Maybe you should take up a bit of C1.
Even the crossbow there. But there we have it. Goncalves of Brazil led from the start, kept his cool, showed us his roll.
Yeah, that was masterclass there, very quick.
And blowing kisses to the crowd before he's even got to the finish.
It just shows the kind of character he is. He's very cheeky, but very aggressive and serious when he needs to be.
So we know 2 of our finalists. Now the second semi-final, and 2 Germans, a Briton and an Italian. Stefan Hengst in the red helmet wearing bib number 11. And Joe Clark of Great Britain, the world champion from 2021 in extreme slalom. Then Hannes Eigner of Germany. And last but not least, Zeno Evaldi of Italy, number 18. Well, this is going to be hard to call.
This is going to be very, very exciting.
Hengst, Clark, Eigner and Evaldi, and only 2 spots in the final. Well, who's got the advantage? Clark is struggling, catches an edge and has to fight across. So it looks like it is the early advantage to Zeno Evaldi, number 18. So Hengst and Evaldi are charging down in this semi-final. What's going on the other side of the river? Well, Clark comes out ahead of Eigner of Germany. So it is Hengst, then Evaldi, then Clark, then Eigner as we come into the second of the upstreams.
Yeah, Joe choosing to go on that other side. Oh, very well executed that.
Wow, what a comeback. Clark now moving up the order. There's no doubt about it. Stefan Hengst is in the lead for Germany. Joe Clark now for Great Britain has gone into their lead, or into second place ahead of Zeno Evaldi of Italy. So who is going to be progressing through into the final? Well, Stefan Hengst wins, and Joe Clark, what a recovery from 4th off the ramp. And he will join Stefan Hengst of Germany in the final.
Yeah, I think what saved him there was his second up left. It was like, I've never seen anyone do an extreme upstream that quickly in head-to-heads, and managed just to get out in front of, I think it was Eigner. But yeah, amazing work from Joe there to go from last to second place.
Yeah, he'll be able to breathe again. I suspect all the thoughts were going through his head as he took that first few strokes after the ramp, as he ended up missing out. But there are the results. Stefan Hengst goes through for Germany, Joe Clark for Great Britain, and Zeno Ivaldi and Hannes Eigner eliminated at this stage of the competition. Let's watch that through again. So there you can see Clark catching an edge and equally being pushed the wrong way towards the first gate.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been an ideal start for him.
So Stefan Hengst in the red helmet, he was dominant throughout and a great upstream here. You can see in the distance though, Joe Clark, that's where he made his move, and there he sneaks ahead of number 18, Zeno Ivaldi of Italy.
Yeah, Stefan looked so cool and calm throughout that whole heat then.
Well, we're getting into the sharp end of racing. We now know our finalists, myself, Andy Maddock, and alongside me, Kimberly Woods from the Great Britain team, finalist in the women's canoe event earlier on. We're looking forward to seeing the action. But here is confirmation of the semi-finals in this men's extreme slalom. And our 4 finalists: Pedro Goncalves of Brazil, Stefan Hengst of Germany, Joe Clark of Great Britain, and the final qualifier was Timothy Anderson of Australia. So let's take a breath, because it is extreme slalom finals time. Here we have it. Mallory Franklin of Great Britain wearing number 14. Teresa Fisarova patched up after the semi-final. Great to see her on the start, wearing number 5 for the Czech Republic. And number 11, Klaudia Swolinska of Poland. And finally, Noemi Fox for Australia, number 17. 4 boats racing it out for the World Cup title here in Prague. Franklin, Fisarova, Swolinska and Fox. Well, they were held for a long time, but they're away, and it looks like it's a good start for Mallory Franklin and a good start for Teresa Fisarova. As they come in towards the first upstream gate, Fisarova has the early advantage. And let's see, well, Mallory Franklin, she's trying to sell the dummy. She looked like she was going for the right hand upstream. Then she moves across to the left. So what's going on now?
Swolinska is definitely giving Fisarova a bit of a fight, but you know it's never over until it's over.
So it is Fisarova leading ahead of Swolinska, then Franklin, and then Fox at the moment as we come into the second upstream gate. Fisarova and Swolinska cleanly out. Now Franklin catching a little bit the Polish paddler Swolinska, but the top 3 looks unlikely to change, and it looks like another gold medal for the Czech Republic. Teresa Fisarova paddles for gold, and she finishes in first place in this women's extreme slalom final. And provisionally, Klaudia Swolinska of Poland in second, Mallory Franklin of Great Britain in third, and it is Noemi Fox who on this occasion misses out on a medal. It's quite tough, isn't it, in the final? 4 of you, but only 3 of you get a medal.
Yeah, you've got a good chance of, when you get into that final, you've got a very good chance of coming away with a medal, but there's always one unfortunate person, and you've just got to keep fighting to the end, because you never know if anyone's faulted in front of you. But yeah, to see Fisarova come out on top there after a bit of drama in the semi-final, yeah, she's a tough cookie that she is.
Well, the Czech crowd are very pleased with that result. 2 gold medals for Teresa Fisarova in the same day. It's been a busy weekend, and of course this weekend closes and we go to Krakow in Poland next weekend, then Tarsen in Slovenia the following weekend. So it's a busy schedule for the athletes, But we still have, of course, the men's extreme slalom final. But there are the confirmation of our medalists. Fiserova wins the gold for the Czech Republic. Svalinska takes silver for Poland. And Franklin takes bronze for Great Britain. Let's watch the final through.
Fiserova using the wall very, very well in both of her runs actually, but very interesting watching the start list for that final. You know, all 4 girls but doubling up at every single event that they're doing, and it's a lot of paddling that they're going to be doing. And as it gets closer to the final, they do less rest, and but they know that they can do it just from doubling up.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting point, isn't it? And then the Olympic program is a 9-day program, so if you can do it in a World Cup, then it's almost easier in the Olympics.
Yeah, you'd think so, but it definitely takes a toll out of you just doing one run.
Well, there is the World Cup champion in extreme slalom, in this women's extreme slalom event, Teresa Fiserova. And, well, she'll not only take a gold medal away, but she'll take away some scars from the head-to-head racing here. And, well, hopefully she's down at the finish line.
Teresa, well, congratulations, but you look a little bit worse for wear. Are you okay?
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm okay. I must go to hospital to do this. And after I celebrate today because I have 2 gold medals.
You have 2 gold medals today, and you also have a scar to go with it to show how hard you've worked. What happened?
Blood.
What happened?
I don't know. Everything is so quick.
Well, you've got 2 gold medals today. Congratulations. Enjoy it. Go and get some stitches and enjoy, and we'll see you in Krakow next week.
See you. Thank you.
Well, it's good to see that Teresa can still have a smile on her face, and yeah, let's hope the injury isn't any more severe than it looks, and we'll see her back in action in Krakow next weekend. So we have one more event to go, and that is the final of the men's extreme slalom. So at the moment, the medal table, with one more event to go, it's Slovenia and the Czech Republic on 2 gold medals. And of course there's points up for grabs in the extreme slalom racing as well in the overall World Cup series. 5 races and double points up for grabs in the final race of the year in La Seu d'Urgell in Spain. So our women's extreme slalom event has been super exciting. The thrills and spills of extreme slalom, very contacting, and well, in some cases some injuries from Teresa Fiserova, but good to see she's come through that. She's got a gold medal as well as a plaster to go with it. And there we see, that was the moment that our winner takes a bit of a beating in the, I think that was the semi-final, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can tell that she knew it as well, but she fought really hard to the finish, and you don't really know what's going on because you've got so much adrenaline pumping through you.
A bronze medal for Mallory Franklin, and a silver medal for Klaudia Svalinska of Poland, and that'll be a big boost as she heads towards her home race in Krakow next weekend. Well, there is the celebrity of the day. 2 gold medals for the Czech Republic, and now the focus will turn to the men's extreme slalom final. The top 4 racing it out for honours. Here's a recap of the semi-final. There's our lineup for the final. Pedro Goncalves, Stefan Hengst, Joe Clark and Tim Anderson. So it's wide open. A quality field there.
Yeah, as we saw in the semi-final with Joe, you know, 4th coming out of the ramp, but manages to sneak in 2nd. It's I said earlier, it's never over till it's actually over and you cross that finish line.
So Stefan Hengst in the red boat, number 11. Well, he's consistently chosen that lane, hasn't he? Then the world champion from last year, Joseph Clark of Great Britain, number 2. Then number 9, Timothy Anderson of Australia. And then finally, Pedro Goncalves, Pepe from Brazil, number 4. 4 boats racing to win the World Cup here in Prague. Well, they're away. Joe Clark gets a better start than last time. He is straight off the block. Stefan Hengst again, consistent down the left-hand side of our screen, but it's number 2. Clark out ahead of Goncalves, then Hengst, then Anderson. So coming into the first upstream gate, we'll get an idea shortly who has come out in front. Well, Hengst looks like he has forced his way through. Hengst versus Clark. Clark gets pushed out.
Oh, wow.
And Goncalves of Brazil goes into second place. So it is Hengst, Goncalves, Clark, and then Anderson at the moment. And what an upstream from Hengst of Germany.
Yeah,
that's really given him the edge. But it missed a gate. And that's declared as a missed gate. So at the moment it is Clark and Goncalves neck and neck, and Anderson is disqualified as well. So it's a straight fight between Great Britain and Brazil. At the moment, Joe Clark, the world champion of 2021, is leading the way ahead of Goncalves of Brazil. And, well, we're going to need a bit of time to process that, but it would appear that it is Joe Clark of Great Britain who takes the win here.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't actually see what was going on beyond the pole of the upstream. So that's where looks like it might have changed.
Well, let's have a look. Just waiting for confirmation of faults. Stefan Hengst looks like he might have been reinstated. So let's just hold fire at the moment. And it would appear, at the moment, from what we're looking at, it is Hengst, then Clark, then Goncalves, and then Anderson. And we'll just wait for confirmation of that result, and well, wait for the slow-mo, and we'll find out as we get through. So provisionally, Stefan Hengst survives a scare to take the gold medal.
Yeah, I mean, it leaves us a little bit on edge, but he'll think that he's just cruised through.
And there we have it. It is confirmed. Stefan Hengst, well done. You take the gold medal for Germany ahead of Joe Clark, the world champion of last year for Great Britain. Then Pedro Goncalves of Brazil takes bronze. And Timothy Anderson of Australia goes home in 4th place. Let's watch it on the replay. Well, Stefan Hengst really has got some great techniques on the upstream gates. And that's where Joe Clark did well to recover from that. Got pushed right out wide and really risked being faulted. But he somehow managed to get back, not only back into the gate, but back into contention. Yeah, Stefan Hengst. I think this is where he may have had a fault, but they've obviously reviewed it and no issues there. And then this was the battle between Clark and Goncalves. They roll in sync, and it's all down to the final few strokes to determine the final medal position.
Yeah, doing that kind of roll as well, you can see where the other competitors are at.
Not a lot to choose between them. This down in the closing part. Stefan Hengst out in front, the gold medalist. But it's there that after the roll gate that Joe Clark goes ahead of Goncalves of Brazil over to the finish line.
Well, Stefan, you like this course. You've been a world champion here and now you've won today. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it seems to be a good place for me here in Prague, and even with this crowd, it's just amazing to paddle here. And even after 2 years of COVID, it feels good to have a crowd and atmosphere like this here in Prague. It's also amazing here.
It seems like the extreme slalom has gone up a level. There's a lot more biff out there. It seems to be a lot more physical.
Yeah, it is, even in a short amount of time, so many runs. It's quite physical, and yeah, even the guys are getting better and better every year. We have so many strong athletes on the start line, and yeah, you have to train a lot more now.
Yeah, you're one of the specialists. I mean, you do this a lot, and you have success at it. So you obviously know something that no one else knows.
Yeah, maybe I was one of the first who ever did it. Not ever, but who started here together with Pepe or Witt, and I think we can still improve something. And like Dimitri showed us some amazing skills, and I think we can learn quite a lot from these young guns.
Well, congratulations, Stefan.
Thank you.
World Cup gold medalist. Enjoy it.
Thanks.
Well, there is our winner for Germany, Stefan Hengst, and well, that is an exciting finale to the competition, and of course we'll have extreme slalom throughout the competition as we go through this World Cup series. Well, it's been a pleasure here in Prague. The Czech team, after perhaps a slow start yesterday, have topped the medal table here in the Czech Republic, and they go home with 2 gold medals, 2 bronze medals from the competition. And well, extreme slalom growing every time we see the competition. And there, Joe Clark, silver medalist for Great Britain. And here, Pedro Goncalves adds to his medal collection in the extreme slalom with a bronze medal here in Prague. And definitely 3 names to watch as we build into the season and build towards the World Championships in Augsburg at the end of July. Well, that concludes the racing here in Prague in the Czech Republic. And now the focus shifts across to Krakow in Poland for the first of our races in Poland in the season, the second World Cup of the season. And you can follow it live